I call him Mr. Seattle because he runs TechStars Seattle. And we're going to find out what TechStars is and learn all about the new startups that are coming out of Seattle right now. Who are you?
Well, according to you, I'm Mr. Seattle, but my name is Andy Sack. I'm Executive Director of TechStars in Seattle. I have two other organizations that I'm also responsible for. I'm Managing Partner of Founders Co-op, which is a seed stage fund that invests in early stage technology companies in the Pacific Northwest. And I'm also Chairman and CEO of Revenue Loan, which invests also in technology and other companies in the Pacific Northwest.
Very cool. I know what TechStars is, but maybe somebody watching hasn't heard of it before. So what is TechStars?
TechStars is a 3-month mentor-driven accelerator. It takes entrepreneurs, both first-time and experienced entrepreneurs, and puts them through an accelerator, a 3-month program of mentorship, feedback on all aspects of their business to get them to the next stage, to get them to really to their Series A financing. The program culminates in a demo day, and we just got done with demo day a week ago, 10 days ago. It was a great event in Seattle. We had over 270 angel investors, the 10 companies that were part of the inaugural class, some of whom you're meeting today, yep, all pitched, and the feedback from the event and on the program was off the charts. It was awesome.
So you had to go through 400 submissions, people who wanted to start companies, and
yeah.
Tell me what that process is like.
So in Seattle, we had over 400 applications. And out of those 400 applications, we selected 10 companies. And the companies are all on the website, techstars.org. And the process of selection involves a short application, primarily over the web, best accompanied by a short video. And we have a process which is a little bit long and painful for us, easy on the entrepreneur and the applicant, where we go through them. Yeah. And we filter it down from 400, largely down to 100. We go from 100 to 25 and 25 to 10.
Yeah, it must be hard to pick between some of these ideas. Did you see any trends or anything new that surprised you because you're able to look at 400 ideas?
Yeah, there were some trends, and those trends are reflected in the company selection. So big trends in 2010, I would say mobile. Big trend, I would say gamification of everything, as well as just games. So we have 2.5 companies that are game oriented. And then thirdly, saving money. I mean, deal a day, which Groupon invented, permeates a consciousness, which I think is really relevant, particularly in the US right now, around saving money. And so we have at least 2 companies that are deal oriented, not direct competitors to Groupon at all, but focused on saving people money. Got it. We did not see, to my surprise, being in Seattle, we didn't see a lot of cloud-based stuff, and I would expect next year, I'm actively looking for cloud-based ideas.
Interesting.
Just because I think
it's a Dropbox or a...
Yeah, I think there's a lot, development toolkits that help. There's a lot of applications and businesses, I think, to be built that empower and help companies of all sizes use the tools that Amazon and Microsoft and Google are all providing.
And Rackspace.
Yep. Of course. Forgive me, they're sponsors of both TechStars. Rackspace has been great. Yep. And so I think there's a middle layer there for a lot that presents opportunity for a lot of entrepreneurs. We didn't see any of that in the applications, at least in Seattle. There might be that in New York is just winding up, so there might be that in New York.
Okay. What were some of your favorite companies, and maybe tell me some stories about how they pivoted or changed over the 3 months? Or?
So I'll answer part of that question, and I won't answer part of it. Okay. The part that I'll answer is which is part with explanation, which is the company. We don't announce when we choose the 10 companies and the program starts. The press always wants to know who are the companies and what do they do. And TechStars is silent about that. We intentionally do not tell anybody. We tell the entrepreneurs not to publicize that you got into TechStars. And the reason for that is because the companies change names, they change products, they change directions. Yep. So we had, I think, 4 companies literally change their name. We had 2 or 3 companies change founder team. We had definite strategy, significant strategy migration. I don't know if it's a change of direction, but certainly strategy migration or evolution. And so that's really what TechStars, the program, is all about. And so that come out demo day, they have an opportunity to catch attention, and then you want to grab that attention and be clear about who you are and what you do. And that's what TechStars, the program, is all about, which is why we don't publicize it at the beginning.
Yeah.
And so we had all that, and we had all, some of that is, there's drama and angst and tension, but all that happened during the TechStars program.
How repeatable is TechStars? Because TechStars started in Boulder and started out with this formula of having mentorship. How cookie cutter is that? And did they come and teach you how to do TechStars, or did you sort of add your own?
So I was a mentor. I saw and witnessed Boulder's program for 2 years as a mentor, and got really excited about the program. That, coupled with my work at Founders Co-op, I had a natural insight into how TechStars ran. So they certainly came and supported me and coached me and gave me some guidance around the program. And whenever I had questions, they were right there to answer them. So I think the program worked exceptionally well in Seattle. The response was awesome, and I think it's repeatable. But the repetition, TechStars has only grown to 4 cities in 4 years. Yeah. That gives you a sense of how scalable it is, and they really focus on quality. I mean, there's incubators that have sprouted up everywhere, yeah. But there's Y Combinator and there's TechStars. Yeah. And they're similar in some respects and very different in others, but both of them focus on the top end of quality.
Yeah, and you both get about the same number of companies, submitting ideas to you, and you have the same constraints. 10 out of 400. Yeah, I think the same kind of ratio is over at Y Combinator.
But the geography, what's interesting is that the geography is very different. Y Combinator, San Francisco, they own it. TechStars, I think, owns Boulder, it owns Boston, it now owns Seattle, and it's going to own New York, to the extent that New York can be owned. And in each of those places, the role of TechStars acts to bring the community together in a really significant way. Yeah. I think that's unique to TechStars and different. And there are unique properties to each of those locations because of the local economies. Yeah. I mean, obviously we have Amazon and Microsoft and Starbucks, and then we have a bunch of sort of offices from Google, et cetera. Facebook is coming. That makes up the community, sort of drives the selection, the nature of the companies, ultimately the companies that are selected, as well as the valuation and the deals get struck.
Yeah, that was going to be my question, was is TechStars seeing regional differences in the entrepreneurs that they're able to choose from? And I imagine there is.
Yeah, there is. And I mean, the reason that it's structured the way it is it's now a year-round program. As entrepreneurs, you can choose the city and the time of year you want to apply to. If you don't get in the first time, you can apply 3 months later, as long as you're willing to go to that city. As a person running TechStars, we had we had a company from Idaho, we had a company from Alabama, that came in and moved. The company from Alabama has now moved to Seattle. So it acts as a magnet for entrepreneurial talent, but it's predominantly, it starts with regional and then expands from there. So my guess is 6 of the companies are from the Pacific Northwest and 4 are from outside.
Got it. On Quora, one of the questions that came up was, what's going to be the next Silicon Valley city or region that has this kind of tech entrepreneurial? And I answered, I said, well, there's only a few cities. There's London, Shanghai, Boulder, New York, Seattle, and Austin. And then and Tel Aviv. Then it starts getting harder.
Yep.
Bangalore. But after 7 or 8 cities, it's hard.
It trails off.
It trails off really fast. Why is that? Is it because of these kinds of mentoring systems and the money, and is there any way to generate a TechStars in a city that doesn't naturally generate it on its own?
So I got involved in Founders Co-op, TechStars, and Revenue Loan because really because of supporting entrepreneurs in realizing their dreams by growing their company with the access to capital, as well as mentorship. And a lot of that has to do with building a community of people to help. And that exists, there's no question San Francisco is Mecca for technology. New York has come off of the charts. I think with TechStars in Seattle, Seattle's come rising. So I think that we have not realized given the amount of talent and education and sort of the natural resources of the region, there should be even more bigger technology companies that have come out of Seattle. And I think you'll see that and we'll look back 5 years from now and go, oh, TechStars played a role in that. That's what motivates me.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much. Where can we follow you on Twitter?
So I have a blog, ASAC of Seattle, and on Twitter I'm simple, it's Andy Sack, @Andy Sack.
Very cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you.